guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here with my girlfriend Aurora, and we are going to be watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, Season 1, Episode 8. Let's quickly go over what happened last episode. It was a heavy one.
It was very heavy. We learned a lot about Peter's past, I feel like, and kind of where his anger might stem from, and his jealousy and all of that stuff. And we also learned that Jessel is good, and that she didn't want to die,
Yeah.
and she wasn't gonna hurt the kids or anything.
Yeah.
We didn't really know that in the beginning.
On the topic of Peter, because I want to analyze him before we go into Jessel, before we start this episode. Obviously he dealt with some shit as a kid, whether that be sexual abuse. I'm pretty sure it was sexual abuse. They were making heavy insinuations that it was, and I'm pretty sure Peter would say that his friends would come over to sleep over and his dad would do the same shit to them. And I don't know if the mom was complicit in that, but she seems like she's a piece of shit too. Either that or she's mentally ill. She said that she's cured now, she's better. So I think it could have been mental illness, and that is kind of reflected in Peter. He took traits from both of his parents, and now he's kind of doing the same thing to Miles in terms of it's not overt sexual abuse. I don't think it's that at all. It's him taking control of his body. It's the same principle. Yeah. It's him taking over the bodies, or both of them taking over the bodies of these children without their consent, without their permission. It's them being manipulated in that way. And the fact that Peter is doing this without their permission, and them thinking that it's them being reunited with their parents and them living with them forever, it's manipulating their minds and also their bodies. And I feel like that's so disturbing and so fucked up, and we don't think of it that way because when it was happening, it was kind of just oh, they're possessed, they're taking control of their bodies. But think about that. They're not in control of their own bodies. They're being sent to these memories that sometimes maybe they don't want to remember, and it's against their own will.
I know. I mean, Flora said that she didn't really like being in the memories at all. No one likes the memories, what we've seen.
Yeah.
So we also don't really know about Miss Gross, really. Last thing we saw was her, seeing herself dead.
Yeah.
We don't really know why that would mean that, finally getting rid of her, finally trapping her in her mind, you think he meant? Just trapping her in the memory? So
it could have been that. That's a good theory. I was thinking of it more as maybe she's finally coming to terms with her death. Maybe she realized that she was dead, but she suppressed it and she didn't want to believe it. So when Owen was saying all these things, we can eat, we can drink, you can live, it was all these things that she couldn't do.
She wanted to,
but she wanted to. And she was kind of coming to terms with the fact that, because she was just realizing in that moment, I think, well, no, she died before she met Danny, but I don't think that she realized in that moment that she was dead.
Yeah. I'm so confused about that well scene after she fell in and she was looking down.
I think the moment that she realized it was when she was going through all those memories, when she was sitting with Owen at the bonfire. That's when she realized that she was dead. That's when the conversation switched. But maybe it could have been the moment last episode where she was looking down at the well because of Miles and actually realizing that she was physically dead. That's why all these things were happening to her. She was not in control of her own body. She kept disappearing. She had these powers that she didn't really know about throughout the whole show. She would just disappear. Nobody would know where she went. And so she didn't even know what was going on. And I think that was the moment of maybe her final realization of what was going on, what was happening to her.
But what does that, what was that a precursor to? Because he was saying it's finally time to, trap her and get rid of her. So
get rid of her for good, he said.
Yeah, get rid of her for good.
I don't know.
So I don't really know. I think we might... There's only 2 episodes left. So we're going to have to find out something.
I know.
If not, that would be a hole in the plot. I don't know.
A plot hole.
A plot hole.
So... right now, everything that's going on right now, immediate concerns, Mrs. Gross. What's going on with her? Is she just realizing that she's dead? And is the realization that you're dead the thing that traps you forever in a memory or in a certain hell? What is that? 2, what's going on with Danny? 3, where is Jamie in all this? Because she lives on the ground. She lives at Bly.
she doesn't
She lives in a pub, but she said in Bly. And I'm assuming that Bly is not the town. I'm assuming that Bly is the manor, the grounds, because it's a big place. I'm assuming that there's maybe a pub near the outskirts.
Well, the grounds, if she lived on the grounds and she died, she wouldn't be able to leave there. But she doesn't live in their house vicinity.
Yeah, but she lives on the grounds.
I'm like, but there's like a fence from the house, and like,
yeah.
it would be different.
Well, I'm not even questioning whether or not she's dead, because I don't think Jamie's dead. I don't think that we've been given any clues to lead us to believe that she is dead. All we know about Jamie in terms of like the past and Becca and all that is that she witnessed what was going on just like Miss Rose did. And she saw the emotional abuse that was happening. She was the one that discovered the body of Jessel. And we have to remember that Jamie had a fucked up life too. Like she gave Danny her whole life story 2 episodes ago.
I know.
And just like Peter had a fucked up life, you don't see Jamie going around manipulating children. So I think that
Peter's just like, I feel like if his mom was mentally ill, he inherited, not that everyone that's mentally ill does this at all, I'm not saying that, but he has very narcissistic behavior. It could just be a very like heavy case of like, I don't know. There's something, he's not all there.
He's definitely selfish, definitely narcissistic. He doesn't, what's the word, sociopathic? Like he doesn't have his own genuine emotions, but I feel like he does. I don't know if he's really a sociopath because he clearly feels some type of way about his past and what happened to him. He was getting very emotional. And that scene, I did feel bad for him in that moment when he was trapped in his own hell. He was talking to his mom. I don't feel bad for the shit that he did. Does that excuse what happened? Absolutely not. But I did feel bad for him in that moment. I do think that represents him feeling some type of way about that. Like, he is capable of having emotions. He's just selfish. He didn't want to live the afterlife alone. He didn't want to live his regular life alone. So he knew that the only way to do that was by killing them. I just don't know why he continues to... I want to know how it works. Are they just taking over these children's bodies because they want to keep experiencing memories and he doesn't want to keep living in his own personal hell? Jessel, clearly that does not matter to her. Good for her. She's selfless. She's trying to get them out of there. But now, the immediate concern is...
He said this was their way
Danny.
out.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to learn more about that in this episode or the last one.
Yeah, we've been talking for holy fucking shit. We've been talking for a while. Alright, wait. Predictions before we get into the episode. Danny would be taken away by someone.
I don't think Danny's going to die. I feel like something's going to happen. I feel like this is just a big if, like, Flora's gonna do something, or even Jessel can help out in this situation, maybe, because she's also a spirit now.
She can't leave the grounds, though.
That the faceless people, the Lady of the Lake, is just someone who died. There's still a spirit.
Yeah.
I also want to know more about that
situation,
because, like, why do they feel the need to keep killing people?
Yes.
Because maybe that could answer why Peter thinks that, because he learned from the Lady of the Lake or something.
Yes.
And
why didn't they knock out Danny completely when this was all going down? If it was really about her witnessing stuff, did they just not care because they knew that they were going to kill her anyway?
I guess so.
But she was fully not knocked out, and they were trying to manipulate these kids, or Peter was. So why keep Danny alive saying, no? She was literally like begging them to not listen to him. So that's a question that I have too. I don't know why they wouldn't just knock her out completely. So I guess we'll have to find out. Sorry for talking so long, guys. We are clearly very invested in this series. So without further ado, let's get into episode 8.
Toward the middle of the 17th century.
Oh my God! She's literally...
In the province of Hampshire, a widowed gentleman.
That's the faceless lady in the
His name is of little account. I shall take the liberty of calling him the elder Viola, the younger Perdita, in memory of a little girl born between them.
I, Viola, take thee, Arthur, to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward.
And obey, to love, cherish, and obey.
Ew.
Did he say obey?
No.
So why would she have
The
to?
She's a woman.
This an innocent omission.
The sister's definitely low-key petty, because I feel like
She's jealous.
She wanted to marry him.
Is it a boy?
5
Do you
months
think?
to And they will try
That
to
was the
take it
little
from
boy.
you as they did me.
Maybe.
I'm just trying to think of all the faceless people that we've seen. And we've seen 2 different faceless women.
I feel like she might be Lady of the Lake. She's the one in the attic. That's the little boy.
It is me.
Look at the nose.
It is us. As for Viola, her suspicion began as small, as inconsequential as the tickle in her lungs.
Do you think the sister
But
killed
extra
her?
husband would indulge.
Maybe.
Innumerable yards of lustrous silk and satin, so as rare and rich as if they were spun of threads of jewels.
The sister definitely had something to do with it. Ooh. The plague? That's the plague man. He's like,
That was in the hallway.
Yes, yes.
It took me a second. It took me a second.
That's why when she was coughing, I was like, wait a damn second, it's the 1600s. The motherfucking plague. Is that... Who is that? Oh, it's the doctor.
You will treat her. Cure her.
I do not know that I can.
You will.
I don't think the sister did anything. Maybe.
You don't think?
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe she just prayed that something bad would happen to her. I don't know, though.
Because they seem to be inseparable.
I know.
Be in our bed.
I go and prepare a place for you. And I will come again. You must repeat the rite. Say the words after me.
No.
What did you say?
No. I do not go. You tell this priest and the god he fawns upon. You tell them no.
God wants her soul to be pure.
She is as he made her. She says she will not go, she will not.
Maybe the sister didn't have anything to do with it. Maybe she just got sick.
Days to weeks to months to years. 5 times round the sun, and all is different.
Isabel.
Hello?
She actually
Viola
did.
had surpassed the predictions of the physicians and priests alike.
I thought she was
Held
dead.
alive,
Me too.
some would whisper, by stubbornness alone.
Oh, wretch.
I hate it.
That's a foul thing.
Very foul. Very foul.
Whoa! That was a strong hit! How was she not crying? How was her face still there? It looked like she just like...
Also, if they died at the manor, I don't know why their ghosts... Oh, well, I guess why only her ghost lingers. Because as far as we know, the boy isn't related to them, and the other lady that we saw without the face is also not related to them, so...
That dark carriage and its driver denied so often, in fact, that it would not venture to Bly Manor again.
Maybe she was the lady in the attic. It looks like her. The wheezing one.
Oh, because she had a cough.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
And Flora
theory.
was like, shh, she's singing this.
Why is she leaving the muddy footprints, though, going out to the lake and shit?
I don't know if she's Lady of the Lake.
Well, Jessel isn't.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying maybe the sister is.
You cannot, Viola. Because Viola with love, let it be anything else.
She's always hitting her. I'm sorry.
She summoned to her room all of the jewels and clothes she had accumulated in her days before the sickness.
I will not be buried in my rings or my dresses. My rings and my lace and my silk, I can say without vanity now that I am done with them. They will be a great inheritance for our daughter. Promise me that you will keep them for her, that you will keep the key, and you will never give it to anyone
The key.
except our child.
Another key.
Ooh, this is a literal key.
Promise me.
I might be
promise you.
overanalyzing. I feel bad.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. 'Cause it's like she's really been dead for 5 years. Like, she hasn't been able to live.
The money failing,
She couldn't even
As
see like
time
her
went on.
daughter grow up.
Arthur was required more and more to business. The word began in her chest as the sickness did for Viola. It had spread, insistent, a whisper in her ear, until the word came to live in her hand. The word was mercy. And the word was a lie, because it wasn't mercy on her mind or her heart as she moved her hand. It was a different word that had infected her all this time. The word had always been enough.
Damn. She had enough.
How much longer do you think she would have lived?
I don't think that much longer, but I think that she was just sick of it. Like, she just was sick of attending to her and wanted to move on with her life.
And also, she was like mean to her.
Yeah.
like
I mean, she was sick. She was ill. She was a different person. But that doesn't mean that the sister needed to take care of her. Like, she did not have that obligation.
Arthur bore his bereavement soberly and manfully.
They had a boy.
During the first 3 years of their marriage, the new Mrs. Lloyd failed to become a mother in her own right, and her adopted daughter refused at every turn to see her as a mother.
You grew up seeing her as your aunt. Why would you see her as a mom?
Yeah. That's rough.
That's very rough. I would never expect
She's a mother
child to do
figure,
that.
but definitely not her mom, but still could be a mother figure.
Did you see that painting?
I surely did.
Yo, that's literally like the eyes on a painting follow you, you know?
Yeah, I hate that. That's scary.
Arthur, on his side, suffered heavy losses of money.
We have the solution above our heads.
No.
She would want us to. If
Does
she
she
could
want
have
us?
foreseen how
Yeah.
dire things would become, how dire you have made
How
things.
dire. In this beautiful mansion.
Yes. Did you not run our estate into the damned ground?
At least he's a good man. Like, they definitely found a good one.
Yeah.
Or
And
wasn't he the cousin?
Yeah. But he was like fully like they were in love with each other, you know, like him and Viola. So
I want to know how this all ties in, though.
and
Like,
he-
I want to know if this is going to be the whole episode. If we're going to get this story. Because I don't know if they died on the grounds. Obviously, the lady in the lake in my mind right now is Viola. Do you think that, like, by opening this box, she's going to...
open a can of whoop ass. Are you kidding me? This is when the haunting's gonna start.
I mean, if we're talking about this being cyclical, maybe Viola kills her, or, you know, goes into her body, kills her, just like what happened to Jessel.
Yeah, maybe. How do you do that though to your sister? Okay. I told you
That
to open a
actually
can of
gave
whoop
me
ass.
a jump.
The whoop
The
ass
whoop
has been
ass.
uncanned.
Ooh.
Ew. That was creepy.
We returned
The
to Ellis.
eyes. Oh my god, maybe.
Memories. She's going back into memories, maybe?
Well,
Because she's dead now, and she doesn't look sick. Right?
Yeah, but also I was thinking of the sheet over their head. Like they have no faces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's because like they can't breathe. I don't know. I'm trying to connect the dots with that sheet over her head. Because why would they do that? Well, she's dead, but you know what I mean. What's with all these sheets?
I know, lots of sheet imagery here. And the rose petals. Oh, so she has all her jewelry.
This was
This is like
another.
the box? This is like everything that was in the box.
Oh my god, what if she was
She was
literally
trapped in the
box?
box.
And when she unlocked it, it wasn't her daughter. It was her sister who killed her, and that's the last thing she remembers. That's why she killed her. Do you know what I mean?
She would sleep. She would wake.
That's crazy. That's,
Kind of like how her nights were
Yeah.
restless when she was alive, though.
She would walk.
Danny put stuff over the mirrors too.
Yeah, but
She would sleep.
Maybe that's just again overthinking.
she's Danny.
No.
No, I think she just didn't
She
want to
would
see
walk.
that.
She admitted she was dead. She admitted her husband had moved on.
Kind of like Miss
And
Gross.
she admitted her room was a dream. A lie preferred to the truth of the trunk.
That's sad
Fox
as
there
fuck.
waited for her. The moment finally came.
She's gonna see the face that killed her. Oh, we were right though. That's crazy. Do you think maybe she was wheezing if that is her up there because she broke a windpipe or something?
She stayed in the attic. Yo, I think so. I love this shit. I like seeing, like,
How it all comes together and everything.
the lore.
Yeah.
Slept and waited.
After all that time you're stuck in that fucking room, you get out finally and you're gonna sleep?
You're gonna go back to sleep. Okay. Sounds like a
I kind of
personal
relate,
choice.
I understand.
Whatever curse had claimed his second wife, he would not risk his daughter to its icy fingers.
She is Lady of the Lake.
This absolute abandonment shattered Viola's heart. The pull of that next world ignored, she instead made her own gravity.
So does that mean she chose to stick around? Like she
Yeah.
chose not to move on into the next world, the next realm, she said.
Yeah.
She kind of chose not to be content with her death and not to accept it. My
She
question
would
is,
wake.
if they tried to take the chest out of the grounds, would she have followed them? I don't think she would have.
I don't know.
We don't know because she was kind of like the
They said-
first.
They said that she changed the fate of Bly Manor. Because she didn't leave, maybe that's why no one else can leave.
As if woken from a nightmare,
Yeah, you're
she
right.
would walk back to her home, feeling that if she walked to her bedroom, and Viola would remember. And the remembering itself was injury anew. She would sleep, and she would forget.
So throughout time, she just keeps doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So this is her going through the time,
She didn't
right?
even realize
Yeah.
that a decade had passed.
A decade.
Where is she?
What are you doing here? It isn't safe. You mustn't be in this wing without protection.
That's why he's stuck there. In the hallways.
Yo,
As the
she.
doctor died.
That's fucked up. So that happens to
she would
everybody
walk.
until they realize that they're dead.
Yeah.
That's like Miss Gross. She finally realized that she's dead. Now I'm wondering what happened to Miss Gross. If she's gonna move on, what this next world would even look like. If it's just blackness, nothing.
Maybe it's just
Viola
peace for
faintly
them.
noticed her own attempted exorcism. All things fade. All things. Flesh, stone, memories fade. And
You
so,
were right.
true does the spirit.
So
Everything yields to time. As her memories left her, so too, her face.
So it's not other
So little
people's
did she remember.
remembrance of her, it's her
One
own.
night she found a child in her daughter's old bed.
The boy.
And could not remember, hoping to find a child. And here was a child. It must be the child whom she'd sought.
She didn't know.
She would sleep, and she would feed. And the others, too.
So they just go through the
Those souls
motions
held in her orbit.
until they forget their memories. Oh,
Those
that is so
unfortunates
fucked up.
trapped in the gravity well she had made of Bly Manor. Had no hope, it would seem, for the younger pair,
Who got in
who
her way.
having run afoul of so many of the dead, and who had finally stepped into the path of her own fate.
Yo, if plot armor can save anybody, please save Dani because I don't want her to have that same fate. That is so sad. So you live as long as
You don't get in the way.
it's kind of like that idea of, I know it's more of like them remembering things, but it's almost like that idea of you only live as long as the last person who remembers you.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're kind of playing on that, and it's really sad because you only really live as long as your own memories. You are only yourself because of the memories that you have.
Exactly.
Like really what makes you you, it's your experiences, it's your memories, it's your what you did in your life. And once you forget that, you become nobody. Like, she wasn't Viola anymore. She's the lady in the lake.
I know.
Which is so sad. I really liked this episode. I was thoroughly invested in all of that.
Me too. I feel like we got a lot of context, and I feel like basically everything, for the most part, is like...
Explained.
We have a reasoning for everything.
Yeah. The only, were you gonna say something? The only other thing that, well, we got context as to what happens to the people that die there. Can they die, or do they stay on the grounds whether or not they've died from her, which is yes, even if they die of old age, if they die. This fate is everybody that dies at Bly because of what happened to her. Like the gravity well, they called it. So she will continue to do that. So will she just continue to go through those motions for like decades and decades? I mean, it's been 200 years, so I guess so.
Like, I don't know, she already like lost herself. She has no face, so like she's just roaming spirit that's searching for remembrance of
something that she
doesn't even know that she's looking for anymore.
That's so fucked up.
So she's like trapped in her own time loop, just like everyone else is.
My whole question right now, based on this episode, because I feel like we got a lot of answers this episode, we got a lot of context as to a lot of the ghosts. The plague mask guy, the little boy, and the two, they were two distinct faceless women, and now we got them. So I believe that when Flora was upstairs in the attic with the music box, that was, what was her name? Perdita? Perdita. So she was another person, and then the person in the hallway, was the lady of the lake, right? Yeah, because she was coming out from her bedroom, and I guess whatever got in her way,
she just takes out.
She just took out.
I was gonna say, I don't know why he thinks the kids can solve this problem, like if it's a memory thing, but I feel like the root of solving the problem would be somehow getting in contact without dying, or a spirit getting in contact with Viola and helping her spirit go into the next, whatever's next.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Maybe the chest, taking that chest off the ground.
Maybe. But
changing the gravity well.
It's just interesting because I was thinking about it, and it's just like she kept telling the priest or whatever that guy was, no, I will not go. I won't basically put my soul at rest. Yeah. So she was fated for this before she even died.
She was stubborn, yeah.
So because she kept saying, no, I will not go, I will not give the God my soul or whatever, she's stuck, and that's why the fate of Bly Manor has changed for everyone who dies there.
Because of her.
She said anyone that basically even goes in there is kind of fated to that anyway.
Yeah.
So, and the kids also said don't come out at nighttime because they saw Peter and they were like, you can't get in her way. So they knew like before, like don't get in her way.
Yeah, they saw what happened to Peter. That makes so much sense. Yeah. They saw what happened. So they wanted to make sure that, wow, every episode with every new revelation, it just brings me back to the very depressing fact that I feel so bad for these kids.
And Miles is a lost cause, so we think right now.
At this point, that's what we think.
We know that he can get out. Not Miles, but Peter can get out of him.
Yeah, but his physical body, if Danny just gets out of her situation that she's in right now, which looks a little bit grim, I'm not gonna lie.
They said Danny was the lost cause, basically.
Yeah, but she's not dead until we see her die.
Yeah.
The only way that they would be able to live is if they take the two kids, Danny takes the two kids and gets them off the grounds, because no other spirit can follow them off the grounds. Either that or something with the chest, but I don't think that's going to happen because Danny is not aware of this history. Like, we as the audience are, but she doesn't fucking know who Viola is. And then 3, the only other thing I could think of is if Jamie comes into the picture and Jamie makes something happen and Jamie tries to help out. Because Jamie and Owen, even Owen, they're alive.
Yeah.
Like, they could still do something. They can help.
But didn't Owen go back to Paris?
No.
Did he?
Already?
No. Where'd he go? We haven't seen him in a while.
Well, it's nighttime right now.
I feel like, has not that much time passed? Because I feel like these episodes are making me think like a week or something has passed.
No, here's what happened. They had the bonfire.
Yes.
Owen went home.
Yeah.
It was nighttime. Danny got knocked out at nighttime. We are still in that night.
Yes, because Jamie went home.
Yes.
And this is when... Oh my god.
Yeah, so they're not going
I
to come back
literally-
until the next day.
My brain was like making me think because we passed like 3 episodes since then.
No,
that, like,
this is
time
all the
has
same
passed.
same night. This
That's
is the same night.
crazy.
Kind of like Hill House when the episode with what ended up happening with the storm, and that was all one night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they kept reliving it.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's all about, it all brings me back to just this theme of memories, and I do feel like not a lot needs to be explained in this last episode, but
I want to know Peter's mind.
I know, my heart feels so heavy, and I really want this to have a good outcome. I really want Danny, Jamie, and Owen to just get the hell out of there, but they have no idea what is happening. They have no idea, like, the knowledge that we know, they have no friggin' clue. Danny just saw Peter and Jessel, yes. But she witnessed the conversations that were going on with the kids, so she has some idea of what is going on a surface level. But Jamie, as far as we know, has no idea. Owen has no idea. Owen's talking to Miss Rose as if she has... Well, no, that was her own memory.
Yeah.
I don't think...
Yeah.
We kind of confirmed that
Yeah.
Owen doesn't think that she has dementia. That was just her memory. But, that's just so depressing. Because unless they have this knowledge, unless they find out about it, they're going to be doomed to the same fate. And that is so fucking sad.
We just know all this stuff, which makes it even, like, worse.
It's so sad because their memories are going to fade, and every experience they've ever had is going to fade, and that's the only thing that keeps them alive. That's the only thing that they find joy in and pleasure in. And Peter is a selfish fuck. Like, Miles is still like, you're condemning this kid to a horrible fate.
And he doesn't care, because literally he knows what he did to Jessel. He knows, he said he was sorry. But it's only way that they could be together. It's just because he's selfish. That's the only reason why he's doing any of this. He doesn't really care about the outcome. He's willing to do and say whatever he can to get what he wants.
Yeah.
So...
And it's just
Fuck
fucked up.
Peter.
Yeah, I agree. Fuck Peter. Like, you're really gonna use the bodies of these... Like, thinking about the fact that they're using the bodies of 2 children, let alone 2 siblings, and they had a romantic relationship with each other, just
whack.
makes me physically ill.
Whack.
Like, that is whack. That is whack. And I don't think that's lost on Peter. I don't think that's lost on him. Ew. That's all I have to say. Ew.
Big EW.
So, I feel like that was literally everything. That's the only question that I have. I want to know what's going on with Miss Rose.
We literally keep ending with Danny,
dying.
not dying, but
Getting
like...
dragged to her death.
And our question is the bitch gonna live?
I want her to live. I want her to live a happy gay life.
I know, come on,
And then,
Jamie.
And then she could just adopt Flora and Miles, and they could live a happy life together.
I feel like Flora has a better chance of getting out of this than Miles right now.
Yeah.
But, you know, Flora, this probably wouldn't have happened if Flora wasn't screaming. Like, but I also understand she didn't want to leave her brother.
Her brother is that only person that she has been connected to that knows what she is experiencing. The only person that she could really confide in. And they've always looked out for each other since the beginning of the show. I mean, he came home for Flora.
I know, he came home to protect her. She probably wanted to protect him.
So they would do anything for each other. So it makes sense to me. At first I was like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, she's trying to save you. Like, Miles is a lost cause. Yes, of course we're going to say that as audience members. But this poor little girl, that's the only person that she can really trust and confide in. Like, Danny, yeah, she can trust Danny. But Danny, she's only known for what? A couple months? Maybe not even?
Yeah.
I don't know how long she's been there.
How much time has elapsed.
Yeah. So, I feel bad for those poor kids, and I really hope that this has a happy ending, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be pissed.
I'm just not gonna believe in anything anymore.
I'm just gonna be very sad, and I'm gonna think about it for a while. Like, Hill House genuinely fucked me up after I watched it. I was thinking about it, and I rewatched it because I just felt so connected to it, and I felt so bad. And I feel like it's gonna be the same thing with this. I feel so connected to these characters. Like, it's sad knowing that there is no way, there's this inevitable fate that even when you do die, your memories end up dying at some point. Whether that be decades, centuries, you do end up fading, and you will cease to exist at some point. So, any predictions next episode? Final thoughts?
Also, I want to know if we're going to learn anything else about Eddie, because maybe not, though, because that was like a one and done type of thing, maybe. Last thing we saw was her going, it's just you and me now, And then the parents, maybe we learn how they die. I don't really think that's like a big information thing though. I don't know, but I think we'll just have to watch.
We'll have to watch.
This is the last episode.
Let's do this.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Check out my other reactions if you have not already, and we will see you guys for episode 9. All right, bye guys.